Yes, please have a seat, have a seat. What's up? Take it in, man. That's what's up. Look, 5'6" is damn good looking. Tired chief, man. What's up? So excited. I got to meet two folks today. Where's Michael Riley at from?
Right here, sir.
From Louisville, Kentucky. My man been here for just a few months. He's a Raven, right?
Yes,
Born and raised out there, but he calls Savannah, Georgia home. Right? Last assignment, Joint Base Andrews.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct? 5 years. Wants to get commissioned. Where's Carbo? There you go. Where's Osmond Carbo? Yes, young man. You know where he's from? Sierra Leone. Grandfather came here, lives in Virginia, pastor of a large church, married, got a son, I believe you said, looking to become an officer, serve our country. You got your citizenship. That's what's up, right? Came over here, got his citizenship. There ain't nothing better. You ever seen somebody get their citizenship? That's what's up. My man came here, got a purpose, right? Coming in here to make a difference. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That's Osmond Carbo. Now, why would I come out here telling you guys like Michael and Osmond? Because I'm telling you, when you have intention and purpose and you know your people. Like, that's my people. That's Osmond. He's got a vision. He comes from a pastor's grandson, right? He came here from another country to serve our country, to make a difference. Swore to you that. When you're intentional and purposeful, say, I know you, brother. And I know you from what? How long did I talk to you, Osmond?
Almost 4 minutes, 45 minutes.
4 minutes. Michael, how much time did I talk to you?
About 4 minutes.
About 4 minutes. And I know a lot about him already. I connected. Now I'm asking you as leaders of our people, man. When you know people, you know people. You know their goals, their aspirations. Hey, where are you going? What are you trying to do with your life? I know Michael. He's a Raven. He got the, I didn't see that when I saw him. I knew he had a good haircut like me. He's about to say, all right, we almost saw eye to eye. Almost. Not as good looking as me, but I'm just saying, you got a chance.
I'm trying.
You're trying. I'm telling you, as a leader, that's what it's about. It's to know your people, to say, hey, what are your aspirations? Not just what I want to get from you. Because that's what we always do, right? I have a mission. I have to do something for the United States Air Force. I have a product to deliver. And usually I'll take that airman and I'll just use them. Throw them to the side. Instead, I want you to be intentional to say, I think you want to be a cardiovascular surgeon, a neurosurgeon. I heard you want to be a pilot and fly helicopters for the Army. I'm going to help you get there. I can tell you right now, not only 5'6" and really damn good looking, but I know for a fact I've got folks who said I want to be a neurosurgeon. And guess what they are? A neurosurgeon. I had folks that came in and said I want to be a pilot. I want to fly helicopters. And guess what they are? They're pilots. I knew them. I knew what their passion was. I knew what their purpose was, what they wanted to do. I used them to serve my country and do what I needed them to do. But I also helped them achieve what they wanted to do. Think about how hard you work when somebody's investing in you. You ever had somebody pour into you? Pour into you and say, push it harder. You can do better. What happens when they do that? You do better?
Yes, sir.
I do better. I was 5'6" and really good looking. I drove first base I ever went to. Eglin Air Force Base. 14 May 1994. Why do I know that day? Because on that day, I drove a truck in the lake. My first day. And I wasn't a coach and I wasn't a ship. I drove a truck in the lake. On my first day of assignment, I still made chief early. So there's chances for you too. But I walked in that base, walked into my office, and here was this dude. He was a drunk airman. Drunk. He was hammered. He was about 6'2". Big, huge surfer dude, blonde hair. You know what I'm talking about? It? Like the hair that flowed back so much when he got to the night, he could do like this, and the hair would be like down here. You know what I'm talking? You ever seen those cats? They look like they slick it back, got short on the side, but my man did like this at night. And it would just be like, he was hammered. And he says to me, he says, hey, you're taking me out on the reservation. You drive me around drunk. So my first day, I get a drunk airman. Get him in this truck. It's called Bio 5. Bio 5 goes out on the reservation to Eglin. Anybody ever been to Eglin Air Force Base, by the way? No, one person. That's a big dang reservation, right? Huge. We're out there on this reservation. I'm driving this individual around. And we get to this location. If you can imagine, visualize this in front of me right here. This would be water. And I'm in the bio truck, 5'6", a tag, I'm good looking. And we're driving up, drunk airman right here. And we come up to this part, and I know it's water, body of water. And we start to drive in the body of water. And I can see the water start to come up, right? What happens when it comes to the jam on the door? The water comes in, right? So I start seeing water at my feet. You know what I'm saying? Oh, dang, I need to back up. My airman is like, no, keep driving to know exactly where we're at. So I keep driving. Guess what happens when you drive further in the lake? Water gets to the hood of the truck. What happens when the water gets, where's my maintainers? Where's my vehicle maintainers? Any maintainers? Sucks it in, air filter. What happens to that truck?
It
Dies in the middle of the daggone lake. First day, 14 May, 1994. Chad Ballance, King, man of the Lord. I was like, Lord, please let me get out this daggone lake. Can you imagine? This good looking. First day. My father was an E6. I wasn't worried about CMSgt non-judicial punishment, dude. I was worried about my father getting on a plane and coming to kill his son for driving a daggone truck in the lake. On the first day, I was like, oh my gosh. So I cranked that joker and I cranked that joker. And it wouldn't start. You know it wouldn't start. And then all of a sudden it started. You believe it? It started. I mean, gee, it started. I threw that joker in reverse and drove out the lake. The truck was like, out the tailgate, the water and the fish and the seaweed flying over the truck. I'm not joking, man. You imagine backing the truck out of the lake, it'd be like jerk, right? It'd be like, bang, 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 bang. Water just flying, fish flying everywhere. And I got out, my man Tim, he looked about, how big are you, dude? 6'2"? Yeah, I can always judge a dude. He stood up, stood his hand up for me just for extra purpose. And I'm like, what are you thinking, bro? He's like, I had to look up to everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, except for her. Yeah, but I was looking at this drunk airman, he had his hair slicked back. He's hammered. And he's like, bro, I got you, man. I was going to punch you in the face. We were going to walk out with our clothes above our head and say the prisoner done jacked us. He's drunk, he got a plan, drove me in the lake. I listened to a drunk airman, but the drunk airman at least had a plan after he got drunk and did, and I listened to him. I was a leader. I was a captain of my baseball team 2 years, captain of my wrestling team 2 years. And my first day, what I do? I listened to a drunk dancing airman, drove a truck in the lake. Now we cleared the evidence afterwards. We went to the wash rack, washed everything out, drove it back up, got to the office. Me and the airman get out the vehicle. As soon as I get out the vehicle, building 36, old single row building. Building 37, single row building. Old buildings. Antiquated. Not like me. Old. Drive up, there's this fat mass sergeant. Back in the day, everybody smoked. Not vape. This dude was smoking outside. And he looked at me and he goes, hey, you're that new airman. And I said, yes, sir. He says, hey, you're going to be the vehicle control officer for our fleet. What you talking about? Vehicle control. He's like, all those vehicles right there, you're in charge to take care of every single one of them. I was like, like a father. He knew what happened. I was like, how the heck did he know I drove a truck in the lake? But he held me accountable. What could he have done? He could have laid the hammer down on me my first time, kicked me out of the military. Instead, he said, you're in charge of every single vehicle, every single trailer, every single gator, every single four-wheel. You can make sure they're all ready to go. Operation. FOC. Held me to account. For you as leaders, that's what we got to do. Sometimes you don't have to put the hammer down on somebody when they make a little mistake like drive a truck in a lake. That's a stupid thing. Don't ever do. You put the hammer down on that kid. But I was grateful that he did it. To provide me opportunity. I didn't learn my lesson. Did not learn my lesson. Several years later, same office, doing my thing. 5'6", really good looking.
I thought you were 5'7".
5'6". 5'6". No, you look at me and think I'm 5'7", 6 foot. Or I have a people. She says that daggone thing's a lie. And she knows for a fact that ain't the good looking part. She says I'm 5'5" at best. And I always say the military and the government says I was 5'6". They've never done making a mistake in the military or the government. It's official, baby. It's a wrap. I don't care what she says. No, she's right here. I do care what you say. 5'5" is good looking when she's around. No, but then I was here at this base. I still was there and I was struggling. I wasn't focused on taking care of our mission. I was focused on one thing, and that was being out in the community. You can imagine if you're out at Eglin Air Force Base, Panhandle, spring break time, your life is not about serving your country and defending freedom. About, hey, where's the next party? You've seen that there used to be a show. Y'all don't know what this show. It was like on MTV. It was a show. We had television where we would watch this parties going on at MTV on the spring breaks. You know what I'm talking about? Look, all of a sudden she's like, oh yeah, I saw that on one of those vintage shows back in the day, right? Oh yeah, that was me. Cake stand, Aaron McCrum. Wasn't focused on that until this retired chief master sergeant this retired Chief Master Sergeant, his office was at the very end of building 37, the last door on the right-hand side. Now, right before you walked into our equipment room, and right before you walked into the snack bar. And I walked in there one day, sort of like Conor McGregor before he got knocked out. You know what I'm talking about? Had the swagger, like strutting. You know, I own that joker. Like, hey, what's up? And his chief was like, hey, I want to talk to you, Chad. And that voice, like a father could only say, right? And I was like, oh, daggone, this just got real. Like, he's going to talk to me. And he pulled me in his office and he said, hey, listen to me. I'm going to tell you what's up. He said, your father will be discussing who you are as a man. You bring disgrace to your family's name. Disgrace to my family's name. The way you carry yourself, the way you talk to folks. You ever seen a president curse? He said, at that time, none of them cursed. At least in public. Now it's all over Twitter. It's all over. But anyway, at that point, nobody you never saw him or heard anybody ever pray. He said, why do you talk so unintelligent when you're so smart, so good looking, 5'6"? So much potential, Chad. And yet you waste it all. He called me a disgrace, disgust, wasting all my potential. And I was just like, man, I balled my fist up. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody tells you your father will be disgusted who you are, that you bring disgrace to his family. Man, I was so mad. But the dude was spitting the truth, man. He was telling me what's up. I went home that night. You ever had that self-reflection moment where you're like, people telling you something about you, and you're like, man, mom told me this. Dad told me this, and it just, you didn't want to believe it, right? You're like, I'm not believing it. And all of a sudden I was like, dude, it's telling me exactly what I'm doing. I came in with all this potential. Why would I waste 5'6" and so good looking? And not pour out and give everybody what I got. And I went home and I said, that's it. I'm going to ALS. I was going to ALS that weekend. After that weekend, I was going to go to ALS on that Monday. First day. Class 99 Foxtrot was my class. I don't know what class this is. Not 99 Foxtrot. But I walked into 99 Foxtrot with a purpose, like I did with Osmond, like I did with Michael, with intention of coming in and making a difference. Like, I'm not going to be a disgrace. I'm not going to be discuss my father. My father would not be discussing who I am. I walked into that schoolhouse, man. You can imagine this. No, you can't. I was about 25 pounds lighter, totally jacked, dark skinned, really good looking dude. My uniform looked so daggum good, man. I had an Italian brother. He done showed me how to shine up my shoes, man. My shoes were so shiny. You'd hit that joker and it'd be like, boom. My accoutrement, like, it was so shiny, a little medical badge. If it hit the light just right, you'd be like, boom. My epaulets were sewn down. My shirt was tight, everything sewed down. My pockets were sewed down. I walk in there, like I said, like Conor McGregor, like I own that joker. Like, they're going to know who this guy is. I walk in that school, like, I'm going to prove, not to them, I'm going to prove to myself that what he said and what I heard and what I received was not true. Like, I got something, and I need to deliver that something. And I went to that class with that purpose of, like, I'm going to get 100 on every test. And that first test came up, and I got 100 on that formative. Y'all taking the test yet? No, what day y'all in? Oh, man, this is getting soft, bro. This is getting soft, Chief Bass. Chief Bass, I'm telling y'all, getting soft. No. We had tests. We used to have to write down and take that test. And I took that first test, and I got 100. I took the second test, got 100. Did a speech, and I couldn't even talk when I was a kid, man. When I first joined the Air Force, I got in front of my 2 instructors. And they said, just tell us how to do this water test, kid. And I was like, shake it like this. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you got a date like this one, I'm dating her. I got that. Hey, my name's Chad Ballance. You need balance in your life. You know, when you go out with me. I mean, the water's shaking so bad, bro. It was like, the water's piping out. I tried to pour the water, and the water's gone. They're like, that's what we call buck fever, by the way. I'm a bow hunter. So I'm like, oh, God, that buck right there. I'm like, why do I miss these damn deer? If you know anything about bow hunting, that joker like this, it'll move like 8 inches, bro. Like, pew! Long story short, though, I couldn't even speak, and there I was at ALS. I'm like, I'm going to deliver the greatest speech. They're going to be like, this is like JFK, like, holy crap. I walk in there, I get that 100 on the test. My instructor goes, man, you're good. 5'6" and good looking and can speak like that. I was like, she didn't know. But it was inside. You ever said, you know what I'm talking about? You don't see this, but inside my body, my heart be like, oh. Even right now, I'm nervous. I'll get out. My heart be like, oh. attention. I came in there with 100. But what happens when you get 100, 100, 100, 100? When you start believing, I'm not a disgrace now. All of a sudden, what do I got on my side? Man, I got something called momentum. You ever had momentum? I had lack of momentum, or the inverse of momentum. Now I have positive momentum. Going to ALS, 100, 100, 100, 100. I feel like a daggone champion. Ain't nobody stopping me. Every test to the end, 100. Graduate ALS, 99 Foxtrot. This dude, like most, he about that big. I don't know how. Everybody's big to me. This general, he was a 3-star general. And he's like, today, Chad, this award changes your life. Happened to be the John Levitt Award winner. And I didn't know what the heck this guy was spitting to me. He said, this is going to change your life. I said, that's what's up. I get done, we graduate, all of a sudden at the end of the night, I'm getting ready to leave up, and all of a sudden I see all these ladies running to me, which was a common occurrence. I knew that was what's up. They all come running to me, about 8 deep, all of them running. I was like, yeah, it's about time to break out my pen. I got carpal tunnel documented. So much signatures in my military. I'm like, yep, you need balance in your life. Here it is. Well, it's TikTok crap. That would have been me. Anyways, these young ladies were coming to me. They're like, hey, listen, we got an opportunity for you. And I'm like, what opportunity is that? They're like, we want you to be an ALS instructor. I'm like, an ALS instructor? Like in a year? 2 years? They're like, class starts on Monday. This is Thursday. You understand? You feel me? You got a couple hours to think about it. And I was like, okay. So I thought about it. I was sitting here in 5'6" and damn good looking. I think about it, go home, pray about it, think about it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I had some limb facts already. I knew some limiting factors already. I'm an airman. I'm teaching airmen who outrank me. But I'm better looking than all of them. So I had an upper hand on one of them at least. Feel me? So I was like, okay, I got some kind of advantage. Most all going to be bigger than me. I don't have that advantage, but I'm working with something. And so I said yes. And I shipped off and I went to Maxwell Air Force Base. And when I got to Maxwell Air Force Base, I met this defender, Security Forces, Senior Master Sergeant. Senior Master Sergeant looks at me and he goes, why? And I don't curse. I haven't cursed since that chief called me a disgrace. I haven't cursed since. Maybe once or twice. She's my lie detector. I drove in New York City in November. I might have cursed. She parked me in a $75 parking garage. Anyway, where was I at? It was lost my mind.
Senior Master Sergeant talking to me.
The Senior Master started talking to me. The Senior Master started talking to me. And he says, I don't know what the bip they were talking about, why they would have picked you to be the bip, and that's the dumbest bip thing they ever bip, you know. And he's cursing like that, like all these things about how stupid it was for them to select me to be an instructor. Why would they pick an airman to teach other airmen? Why would they do that? That's the dumbest thing ever. What do you think that does for me? Man, I got fire in my veins right now, man. I'm lit. Before they had an emoji of fire, I would have been that emoji. 5'6" and good looking, right? Fire, lit. Oh, what is this? That would have been me. This dude telling me, she's trying to pour water on me like, dumbest thing ever. What do they do with choosing you? That's stupid. Man, what do you think it did? That wasn't water, bro. What do you think it did to me? Gasoline, boy. Fire, gasoline, like, boom. 2.5 years later, guess who is competing for the top military instructor of the year? Me. Guess who else is competing? That same daggone Senior Master Sergeant. Guess who won? Yeah, you should have said that emphatically like you did. There ain't no daggone doubt about it. Darn right. Why? Because every morning when I got to ALS, before anybody showed up, you, the instructors, the superintendent, everybody, I was in that building, in the book. That book said, hey, there's these 8 books below here. Read those books. There's a library. I don't know what this is, but there's a hard copy book. They're in there. They're in there probably. And I was in there. Reading books. Studying those books. How to be a better leader. Watching. Learning. Emotional intelligence. I need Osman. I need you. I need Michael. Boom. Watching. Learning. Every day. Study. Because when they look at me, when they come into class, what they see? 5'6" are good looking, but they see senior airman. Senior airman teaching another senior airman. I had this dude tell me, what are you going to teach me? I said, let's just give it a shot. There I was, several years later, the top, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, professional military educator. From a kid who was called a disgrace to his father's name. Your father would be disgusted at who you are. There on the roof of the MGM Grand looking at my mom, will my dad be proud of me and who I am today? She says, of course your dad would be proud of you. My dad's still alive, but he wasn't there. It was just me and my mom. Of course your dad would be proud of you. Look at what you've done. Changed a lot. Changed others' lives. I was intentional. For all my classes, every single class, every one of them, the class, I think, might have to take this down on record. 7 classes, 28 classes total. I think I might have had one that didn't get the Levito out of my class. 27 of the Levito award recipients came from my floor. My floor. When I came in to my next assignment, 7 senior and below the zones in a row. 7 in a row. Every airman that came to me, every one of them got senior and below the zone. Every one of them. 7 in a row. You looked on the wall where she was at the 3-4-4-1 med group. Every one of those airmen of the year, airmen of the quarter, guess what they were? Every quarter. You might as well not even put it in a package. Because guess who was going to win? My troops. My people. Every time. We would call fire. And then somebody just stop. Staff sergeant, you don't even need to go school. You don't even need to. People felt that way. They were defeated before they even stepped on the field of battle, stepped in that arena. They knew my people were going to do well. Because guess what? When you believe it, guess what happens to you? You believe it, guess what happens to him? He believes. All of a sudden, the whole team's doing what? They believe, dude. They can walk through a wall. They used to say, I'm going to walk through that daggone wall. Chief said, we're going to go through it. We're going to follow that dude through the wall. I want that to be you. I want that to be you that says, hey, when I speak, they follow. Like, we're going to walk through that wall because I'm intentional. Building relationships. I know what you want. I know what you need. I'm going to help you get it. And I'm going to use you to get what I need. Get what the Air Force needs. Get what the United States of America needs. But we work together in concert. You can do this. Again, I came from being a disgrace to disgust to somebody who could influence and make a difference. Go through the halls here, my last few assignments. Clinic of the year. Clinic of the year. What happens when I leave?
No clinic of the year.
Oh, no. If I leave and they don't get it, am I a good leader?
No.
If I leave and they don't get it, am I a good leader? When you leave and your people are like, I'm fire, and then you leave and they're not fire, are you a good leader? My response to you is, no, my friend. If you're intentional and deliberate, you're going to deliver that fire, and that fire will not only manifest in me, but it'll manifest in you, and then when I leave, your fire will not extinguish, your fire will burn. Because it's your fire, you'll burn his fire, and then so on and so forth. And then we'll have this unbelievable, not ember, but a huge bonfire. I used to love bonfires. I don't know about you, but they're nice, they're pretty. And when your unit's on fire and everything's just going, man, it feels really good when you're making a difference. And when I talk about making a difference, really intentionally making a difference, when I was a senior airman, we went to that ALS. They said, hey, we need you to do something as a class, as a community, to change the philanthropy, right? To give back, not only to receive and learn to be a good leader, but to give back to the community. And so as a class, we decided to do what is known as the Department of Defense Marrow Donor Program. Anybody ever heard of the DoD Marrow Donor Program? Just 2 or 3, 4, 5 people. So that was my first interaction with the DoD Marrow Program. I decided I was going to be a part of it. I knew something was going on there, that there was a demand, that there was, several hundred individuals every year diagnosed with fatal blood cancers, and then that I could be a part of that. I could share with our fellows, say, hey, you could register 2 swabs of your cheek, be loaded into this database in hopes that you may match up with somebody. And then I just stopped right there. And then when I became an ALS instructor, I started to say, hey, let's do this every single class, 7 classes every time. Let's register folks and say, hey, you could be somebody's cure. Register 2 swabs of your cheek. Hope that you'll save the lives of those that are out there. Those who are black, African American. God forbid you're diagnosed with fatal blood cancer. 29% probability that you or your loved one will find a match. Those who are Asian Pacific Islander, 47% chance that you will find a match. It was 41. Those who are Latino Hispanic, 48% probability that you will find a match. was 46. Those that are Native Americans, 60% probability that you will find a match was 59. Those that are white, Eastern, Western European, 79% probability that they will find a match. It was 77 at the beginning of 2022. While the disparity between those that are white and those that are black, Asian, and Latino, those that are of those ethnic groupings have not registered in the number as those who are white. And so when a family who is black, like the child who inspired me many years ago when I was at E5, E6. Oh, all the pictures just dropped. This young boy inspired me. His name is Savion. His mom and I still communicate and ever communicate with her all the time. This young boy inspired both of us to say, hey, I watched this kid for 18 months fight the good battle. Now, he's obviously of mixed race, and so his probability was much lower. 18 months after fighting acute lymphoblastic leukemia, he lost his battle. 25 September 2005, at the end of my tours, past the end of my tours at ALS, he passes away. And I said, I'll never let that happen again. Never have a family that loses somebody that they love. A young boy who just came home with a bloody nose. This boy loved to fish. He loved to play baseball. He loved the outdoors. And he lost his life because nobody was on the registry to make him a match. I'm fortunate enough to know this young man. This is a maintainer. I saw some of y'all had a maintainer badge on. I saw that. This young man was at the 4th Fighter Wing. This is Justin Snow. He was a maintainer. He was a young staff sergeant at the time. He registered when he's back at boot camp. And lo and behold, several years later, found out that he was a preliminary match and found out that he was the best match for this young boy. This young boy's named Blaze. How cool a name is that? Like Blaze, like fire. Boy's name is Blaze. His daddy was also a maintainer at the 4th Fighter Wing. And you see on their shirt, you can't see it because you probably, well, you might be able to. I know I couldn't right now without my glasses, but it says perfect match. And they're a perfect genetic match to match up with that individual. And this picture is the family that's been really inspiring me. Look at this little child right there. That's Xavier. Mom and dad are both in the United States Army. One's a sergeant first class, one's a master sergeant. They're both stationed at Fort Bragg, both work at JSOC, but unfortunately he has acute lymphoblastic leukemia. His little sister has a 30% probability of finding him being a match. You would think it would be 100%. I thought when I was younger that it would be 100% probability that you or your brother or sister would match up with you. Parents are the same, but unfortunately his beautiful little sister didn't match up. And unfortunately, we're still searching. 33 million people on the registry. 10% of America is registered. And yet nobody can match up with this boy. And so I've been traveling the world to say, hey, you could be their match. If you're Latino, you could obviously potentially be their match. Western European, you probably possibly be their match. You guys see the picture of this young lady? You know who this is? Y'all got glad? Can you see this? Y'all know who this is? Maybe not. Kind of looks like that young lady. She didn't have glasses on right now. But that young lady, this is her, my bride, because I have a good idea of what good people look like. I registered her to be my wife. I registered to be a part of this program because if you're with me, you're going to ride or die with this program, the DoD Marrow Program. And look at her, lo and behold, guess what? She registered 2 swabs of her cheek, got a call, and I should say I got a call from the senior recruiter at the time, Eddie Medina, a legend in our Department of Defense Marrow Program. He called me and said, Chad, you're not going to, and he was Dominican. And so he had a strong language. And he might have said a couple F words. He's like, you're not going to believe this. Amber's a match. I can't believe it. And I might have had allergies. You feel me? You know what allergies are? When you get a little bit of something in your eye and you go like that. Because we don't cry. Yeah. We don't cry. We have allergies. Because I was like, I've been a part of this program for all these years, and lo and behold, my beautiful bride is there to match up. 85 to 90% of us donate just like this to save somebody who has leukemia, lymphoma, the non-Hodgkin's families, severe aplastic anemia, sickle cell disease, the 50+ fatal blood cancers. 85 to 90% save the lives look like that. It looks like a pretty nice little 6-day permissive TDY. She's got a big, huge smile on her face. That's because she's looking at me. Ain't nobody ever look at me and not have a big smile on their face like this. That's what she did there. Yeah, that's why you looked at me like that. She's like, yeah, you looking at me. No, I just told her, you're a hero. I love you. And I was so proud of her. And there she was donating to a young boy, a teenage boy, 13-year-old boy in Germany. Because you only match up against somebody just like you. Now, obviously, she's an ammo kid. I'm an ammo kid. And what do you think I am? 5'6" and what? 5'6" and good looking. There ain't no doubt about that. There ain't no doubt. Y'all just need to be like, yeah, he's that. But I'm also a DoD donor. I donated marrow. I started getting involved in 1994. And then lo and behold, 8 years later, I got the call that I was a preliminary match. I called my mom. I said, Mom, they said this dude is just like me. I said, Mom, I don't think this world could handle just one of me, 5'6", and this damn good looking, but there's going to be a test on at Eglin Air Force Base. We're going to find out if this could happen with two of us, this good looking or there. I said, the world should and will probably come off at daggum axis if two of us are on this good looking. Right? You can't have two of us. It only got to be one because, I was like, no, this can't happen. But they drew that blood and they found out, hey, you're a perfect match. Man's 27, married, 2 children. Are you willing to go forward and get a physical? And then potentially go forward? I said, yes. Gave me a physical. Then I flew up to the National Capital Region, Georgetown University, where 95% of our donors go through to donate. And everybody I talked to said, hey, I heard it's real painful to donate marrow. Well, my man had no shot. He was going to have death if I wasn't there. You hear me? That's what he had no shot. Chemotherapy didn't work. Radiation therapy didn't work. Immunotherapy didn't work. The only transplant that he needed was the cure was me. And there I was. Number one, they take you up to Georgetown University, fly you up there, they knock you out. That's the most important thing I told them. I said, I'm not going to be awake when you do this. They said, you want to see it or all this stuff? I said, I don't want to see nothing, bro. Just take what you need and wake me up. And they did just that. They done knocked me out. They inserted a needle in the left and right of my hip. They extracted the marrow. 5% of the marrow for an adult. 2.5% of your marrow, person of my stature. That's how much they've taken out. That's it. Your marrow regenerates itself within a matter of 10 to 14 days. What do you feel? Some will tell me I do travel all over the world. Some will say, hey, it felt like growing pains. I say, damn, son, I don't know what growing pains feel like. I hit perfect at 12. I had a improvement tour the other day. I showed her a picture of me at 12. Looked like Tom Cruise, 12-year-old, looking how suave like this. Good looking. Now I'm fat. Still good looking. But what does it feel like? Growing pains, achiness in my hips. My man at Luke Air Force Base, I'll never forget this kid, man. He looked me straight in the eyes, cold, stone cold, and said, man, I said, what did it feel like for you when you donated? My man looked straight in my eyes. He said, I felt like I was 50 for a week. I said, damn, son, I feel like that every day. What the heck's wrong with you? 50 for a week. I woke up this morning feeling like I was 50. I'm 48 plus, what, I don't know, 14 days. I don't know, whatever, a bunch of days. I feel like that all the time. But to give life to somebody like he did, he donated to an elderly gentleman, give that grandfather an opportunity to have life. He wouldn't have known had he not registered. Of the 5 who raised their hand, who heard about the DoD Marrow Program or Be the Match, had anybody ever registered before? You've registered, you've registered, you've registered, you've registered. So once you've registered, you don't need to do anything ever thereafter. You're in the registry till the age of 61. What I tell you to do thereafter is just update. So let's say you're like Riley and you PCS from Andrews to here. You need to call us and say, hey, I just PCS so we can find you a little faster. Because time is of the essence always. So you don't need to do anything. Call us or go to our website, Salute to Life. SaluteToLife.org, say update contact information. Update that contact information, you're good to go. For those of you who don't, we provide the opportunity, like my class, 99 Foxtrot, never class since, to say, hey, you can register. You see those beautiful kids over there next to that Mountain Dew? That lifeblood? This is all it takes. A kit. Amber's got one by her. She's got a kit, but she's doing social media. Takes just this. A few minutes of your time, everybody got their phone on. If you're interested in registering, I walk by, I got a QR code. We're so fancy now, we don't even need consent forms. When I did this, we had to draw blood. I mean, it was literally a little more painful. Now it's so easy, like, hey, how do I find out if I can save somebody's life? 2 swallows your cheek. They don't feel nothing. Fill out your phone, you do that all the time. Most of us hooked on that daggum thing so much, you're like, there it is, boom. Fill out this information on there, say, yep, load me in the registry. Hope that you'll get the call. 100,000 have got a call out of 1.1 million. All right? 1.1 million, 100,000 got a call to say you are a preliminary match. And 9,130 of us got a call to say you're the best match. You're looking at us. 5'6", 5'1", damn good look, 5'5", sorry. Good looking, We're the Powerball lottery couple when it comes to the Marrow program. Only family in the Department of Defense to do such. I donated unrelated, she donated unrelated. It's obviously meant to be. It worked out that way. What disqualifies somebody from registering? HIV, Hep B, Hep C disqualifies you. Communicable diseases such as those three. If you have heart disease, liver disease, kidney disease, autoimmune disorders, or bleeding disorders, those are going to disqualify you from register. External to that, like you just got that wicked cool tattoo for your new ALS class, like, hey, I'm all about, like if you saw mine, 99 Foxtrot, that's what's up. You can see it. It's got a little fox, a little tail, 99 Foxtrot. It's on fire. You got anybody have a tattoo? Doesn't disqualify. That's all I'm trying to do. I don't have no tattoos. I ain't messing with this 5'6" good looking body. Ain't happening. But if you got one like she got him, that doesn't disqualify you. Blood deferment, can't donate blood, doesn't disqualify you. But those other things, those communicable diseases, heart disease, liver disease, kidney disease, like I said, those are disqualified from registering to be a part of our program. Any questions about our program?